Today's practice is going to bring some awareness to our core body, providing centeredness and strength, and then also focus on opening and strengthening the upper back area to give our chest a chance to open in the front. So this practice was developed for my friend who just had a baby a few months ago. So it's excellent for postnatal, but let's face it, who doesn't need to access their core and strengthen their upper back and open their chest? So really, it's good for all of us. So we're going to begin on the back. I'm going to stay up for just a moment to guide you through the breathing, just so you'll be able to hear my voice more easily, but I would suggest please start lying down. And what I would recommend is lie down with your knees bent and the soles of the feet standing flat to the floor. So this is called constructive rest. And that'll be a good starting point when we start the movement. Of course, you're welcome to start another way, and then I'll just shift you into constructive rest before we start moving. But for now, please make yourself comfortable on your back. Closing your eyes. Settling into your body. And now bringing awareness to sensation of breath in the area of the low belly. So when I say low belly, I'm thinking of the area below the belly button and above the pubic bone, in between the hip bones. So really the whole pelvic bowl. So at first, keep it very simple. Just hold attention at the low belly as you inhale. And as best you can, keep it there as you exhale. Any movement of breath here. Now, it may be that you feel it naturally, but even if you don't, start to imagine feeling on the inhale a gentle swell here, kind of like a wave. And as you exhale, picture a little bit of a sinking back here, like the wave is retreating back to the ocean. And the inhale, the wave rises. And on the exhale, it sinks. So now what we're going to try is apply a little more oomph to the exhale. So keep the inhales just free and natural. Make the exhale a little longer, a little more thorough, and actually gently engage the belly muscles and bring them back a bit toward the spine. And then when the inhale comes, let the belly relax. And on the exhale, just gently engage the belly back toward the spine to empty out fully. So this isn't a harsh movement. This isn't necessarily how you breathe all the time, but this is going to start getting you ready for the kind of movements that we're going to do. And breathing like this also allows each breath to be an opportunity to connect with our strength, our core body. So it's this style of movement, nope, it's this style of breath that's going to lead us into the first movement, okay? Although breath and movement in Vinyasa Yoga anyway, they're the same. So, no mistake there. I'm going to lie down with you now to guide you through the first movement, which is essentially an exaggeration of how you've been breathing. These are pelvic tilts and tucks. You can follow my voice, or I'll be with you now doing it if you're more of a visual learner. I find it easiest to start these using an exhale. So no rush, but the next time you breathe out and you're hugging the belly back toward the spine, keep going and press the low back flat into the floor. And then as you breathe in, fill the belly and let the arch come back into the low back. So as you exhale, hug the belly in, press the low back flat into the floor. As you breathe in, fill the belly, roll toward the sitting bones so that the arch comes back. So in other words, as you exhale, this is a pelvic tuck, spine flat. And on the inhale, this is a pelvic tilt, spine arched. Keep going. Feel how this movement kind of waves through the whole body. The whole body kind of scrubs along the floor. Just do one more of each, please. And then let your spine return to neutral. Come back to your breathing. And even though you're remaining still, you may find there's an echo of that movement now in the breath. Okay, please take your left knee into your chest. You can clasp your hands either behind the knee or in front of it. Behind is great if you have any, tension or injury in the knee. Behind is generally safest, but you make your choice that's wisest for you. And we're moving into repetitions of Apanasana with this leg. So as you inhale, straighten the elbows, knee drops away from you. And as you exhale, bend the elbows, hug the knee in. Keep going like that, moving with the breath. Inhaling, thigh drops away. Exhaling, it comes back in. So notice you're doing pelvic tilts and tucks again. Just with the leg as a lever to sort of accentuate it. Now, the next time the knee comes in, same leg, we're moving forward. Repetitions of Supta Padangusthasana. So now, inhaling, stretching the leg straight up for the ceiling. Exhaling, bending the knee and hugging it in. So now we're gradually warming the big muscles and the joints of the leg. And now the next time you stretch up, please stay up. And keep the leg stretching up, but bring your hands back behind your head. Slowly lower the leg about halfway. So think of the thighs pretty close to one another. And make the pelvis level again, so you're not tilted or tucked, you're neutral right now. Although you are engaged a little bit by drawing just above the pubic bone up toward the navel center. So this is all very awake. Now, you may release at any time, particularly if your back starts to bother you and you're overusing the spinal muscles. If you're okay here, take a little sit-up on an exhale, lift head and shoulders, bring the navel center even a little more, pubic bone towards the navel center, I suppose. And then set head and shoulders back down. Lower the leg the rest of the way. That should feel pretty good. Bounce it when you get there. Bend that knee. Stand the left foot next to the right. And please pause and feel. Hopefully you've got some good energy flowing into that left side. So now let's match it with the right. Please bring your right knee to chest, clasping in front of or behind the knee. On the inhale, straightening the elbows. knee drops away. And on the exhale, bending the elbows, hugging the knee in. Inhaling, straightening the arms, creating space. Exhaling, bending the elbow, and the thigh helps to press the breath out. Noticing the movement of the pelvis here continues to rock. Now, the next time you bring the knee in towards your chest, moving forward, Supta Padangusthasana. Inhaling and stretching the legs straight up. Exhaling, bending the knee and hugging it in. Keep going like that. Just gradually warming the leg. And now the next time you stretch up, please stay up. Bring the hands back behind the base of the skull. Elbows coming in just a little bit. You're kind of forming a basket for your head. Now lower this leg about halfway. Keep the weight of the leg very connected in to the strength at your center. And then if you would like, lift shoulders and head a little bit. Draw just above the pubic bone up toward the navel. And then set the head back down. Lower the leg the rest of the way. Bounce the calf. Bend that knee. Stand that foot to the floor. Feel the power in your legs. And then just windshield wiper the knees gently, side to side. Releasing the hips, releasing the back. So one more movement on the ground. We're going to do an active variation of Baddha Konasana, bound ankle. And this is really going to mentally connect the strength of the inner thighs to the strength of the belly. So the core line of the body doesn't stop at your belly. It goes all the way down to your feet, all the way up to your tongue, if you can believe it. So a good place to start, at least for me, in following the totality of that line is to start to focus on the way your inner thighs connect in to your deep belly. That was a long preface. Bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees drop apart. This is bound angle position. Start to breathe into the deep belly. Feel how you're getting a gentle opening here to the inner thighs. Those are the muscles we're going to focus on. Take a nice, easy breath in here to prepare. And as you exhale, slowly bring the knees together. The feet turn, so when the knees are touching, the soles of the feet are flat to the floor. On the inhale, come back to the starting position. Soles together, knees apart. And on the exhale, bring the inner thighs together as the feet turn. Keep going. Now start to feel the connection. As the thighs come together, the pelvic floor gently draws up into the body. And that drawing up into the body also activates the low belly. So they're all working in concert. Last one. And this time when the knees come together, just walk the feet a little ways away from one another. Kick the heels out and the toes in, and pause to let the inner thighs, groin, and belly relax. All right, well done. Please bring yourself up to seated. Any way you like, just consciously. And let's come to all fours, please, table pose. So I like to pad my knees. I suppose it depends what surface you're on, but your knees might like it too. And then you're going to place your knees on the blanket, about hips distance apart. Wider is fine, especially if you want to accommodate your torso. Give yourself a little more room. The hands are more or less underneath the shoulders. A little bit forward is fine, especially if that takes pressure off the wrists. Spread your hands. Feel the arm bones rooting down, the thigh bones rooting down, but then make your shoulder and hip joints feel neutral on your body. Draw the tailbone gently back, but the crown of the head forward, so the spine is elongated. And you might feel a side effect of that elongation is the deep spinal muscles kind of hug in toward the spine. All right, let's bring some breath to the spine with repetitions of Chakravakasana. So wherever you are in your breath cycle, please start with a nice, easy breath in to prepare. And then as you exhale, round the low back, lower the elbows and head as you pull the hips back toward the heels. On the inhale, lift the chest off the thighs and come forward. Front spine stretching long. And as you exhale, round the low back, lower down and glide back. Back spine stretching long. Keep going. And now the next time you bring yourself up into table pose, let's transition into child's pose, please. Big toes together and knees out. Shift your hips just as far as they'll go back toward the heels. If your forehead won't comfortably rest onto the floor, then you stack your hands or forearms and make a little pillow. And you rest your head on that. Simple sensation of breath into the low back right now. Okay, one more movement to really connect you into your center. I'm just going to bring some of my hairs back so I can keep an eye on you, so to speak. So, all fours. I think we can do this together. You can watch me at any time. This is spinal balance. Please send your left leg back, toes curled under on the floor like this. Come up on the right fingertips and walk the right fingers forward like this. Make your pelvis feel level again and lift from just above the pubic bone up toward the navel. Some days, this is your spinal balance. Other days, balance inner and outer rotation of that back leg and lift it a little. So I mean that the toes and knee are still pointing down. Boy, that is giving me plenty to work with. But just to demonstrate, you could also extend that right arm, the opposite arm forward. Lower is easier, higher is harder. You'll feel that you have to work harder with those deep spinal muscles to keep from losing the belly and going into a bit of a back bend. Set the hand and the knee back down, and let's go to the other side. Right leg back, toes curled under on the floor. Come up on the left fingertips. Walk the fingertips forward. Level the pelvis. Balance inner and outer rotation of that back leg. So awareness to those inner thighs. And then float the leg. Feel the just above the pubic bone, still lifting through the navel. Option to add the left arm, stretching forward. Lower is easier. Higher, you're going to work harder. And then place the hand down. Good. Place the knee down. And let's wag the puppy. That's just what we call it when we swing hips, say to the left, look over the left shoulder. Swing hips to the right, look over the right shoulder. Back and forth. You could also think of it as one hip and one shoulder blade hugging together, and then the other hip, other shoulder blade hugging together. And now come back to neutral. Please come back to table pose. If you need to stay off of weight bearing on your wrists, please come up to standing without a downward facing dog. Come up any way you like. Those of you who feel like a downward facing dog, and it's no problem for you, curl your toes under, lift the hips up, press back. Feel the hands pressing forward, the hips pulling back, the heels drawing back and down, the neck relaxed. And now please walk the feet forward a little bit, let the hands drag back a little bit. Take a few moments in a kind of intermediary moment in umpire pose. And then press into your hands. Bring yourself up to standing. Clear your blanket off your mat. Bring yourself into mountain pose, which is just a consciously aligned way of standing. Heels more or less stacked underneath the sitting bones. Feet about parallel. Arms relaxed. Think about in spinal balance when we balanced inner and outer rotation of the thighs. When you do that, the thighs kind of wake up. And when the thighs wake up, so does the pelvic floor and the deep belly. And you can feel that strength kind of lifting up the front spine, right up into the crown of the head. Keep the arms and shoulders relaxed, and that lengthens you through the neck. All right, now that you have all that foundational support, let's start to open up the chest and upper back. These are called circles of joy, and they're going to give us an opportunity to warm the whole chest, shoulders, upper back area. So start by interlacing your fingers in front of you like this, and then press the palms forward. So you're opening up the fascia where the palms meet the fingers. And now keep the hands open and stretch them up for the ceiling. Keep the neck relaxed. And now bend the elbows, release the fingers, draw the elbows down, and adduct the shoulder blades. So that means bring them in towards the spine, and also draw them slightly down the back. And then release the arms and roll the shoulders. Shake out the hands a little bit. So we're going to repeat that. We'll have one opportunity for an add-on. Interlace the fingers. This time, when you press the palms forward, if you would like, drop the head and round the upper back a little bit. So creating some space between the shoulder blades and maybe slightly stretching the back of the neck. And then press into your feet, rebound up tall, release all that. Bend the elbows. Now I want to give you two options. One is to come into the same chest expansion variation we did the first time. Others of you may be able now to reach behind you, interlace your fingers like this, firm the elbows, and lift the arms somewhat off your back. This one's tough for me. My arms actually stay pretty close into my body, and I bring the knuckles more down. I like to think it's the strong muscles of my upper back getting in the way, but tight might be more to the point. And then release, and roll the shoulders, and shake the hands. All right, well done. Let the arms relax for a moment. So we're going to use some of that in Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. And specifically, we're going to use that kind of goalpost shape of the arms to continue to strengthen the upper back and open the chest. So I think we can do this together. I'm right here if you need a visual. I'm just turning so you can get my side view. You stay facing forward on your mat. Mountain pose. Please bring your hands to your hips. And now look down. The feet are hips distance apart. And we want to maintain that stance as we step into warrior. So step the left foot straight forward, the right foot straight back, but then turn out the toes a little bit. Bend both your knees. Feel your feet and feel the ankle, knee, and hip joints facing in the same direction. Maintain that. Straighten the legs. Lift just above the pubic bone and feel the front spine facing straight forward. Relax your arms to your side. Here we go. Inhaling, lunge into the front knee, stretch the arms up. On the exhale, stay in the lunge, bend the elbows, pull the elbows down and adduct the shoulder blades. Inhaling, reach the arms up, and exhaling, release the arms as you straighten the leg. That's one full round. Inhaling, coming in. This is warrior one. Stay in warrior one. Exhale. Bring the elbows down and the shoulder blades together and down the back. Inhaling, stay in the lunge, reach up. Exhaling, straighten the front knee as you lower the arms. Let's do it one more time, no verbal direction. Beautiful. Step the back foot forward. Step the front foot back. Pause here, take a moment. See if you can sense a difference between your sides. And let's go to the other side. Bring your hands to your hips. Look down. Let's keep that hips distance alignment. Step the right foot straight forward. Step the left foot straight back and then turn out the toes. Just enough so that you feel ankle, knee, and hip joints in alignment. Bend your knees to feel that. Now straighten the legs. Lift up just above the pubic bone. Turn the spine straight forward. Relax the arms. And here we go. On your inhale, lunge into the front knee. Stretch the arms forward and up. On your exhale, stay in the lunge, bend the elbows, pull the shoulder blades together and down. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling. And returning. Try that again. Inhaling, coming in. This is Virabhadrasana 1. Stay in the lunge. Exhaling, pull the elbows down and the shoulder blades together. Stay in the lunge, inhaling and reach up. And on the exhale, release all the way back to the start. Once more, no verbal direction. Great. Step the back foot forward, the front foot back. Pause here in mountain pose. So after something strongly asymmetrical like that, we want to do something more symmetrical to neutralize and relax the back. So we're going to do a big swan dive into your choice, either umpire pose, which is where we paused for a moment on our way up, or forward fold, which is the whole body just draped over the fronts of the legs. So let's start with hands together at the heart. This is Anjali Mudra. On an inhale, reach up. On an exhale, dive down, either pausing here in umpire pose or letting the arms drape down and letting the whole back relax in Uttanasana. reverse that dive. Sweep the arms out and up. On the exhale, lower hands to your heart. Return your arms to your side. Pause, find your center, and feel your vitality, feel your strength and your openness. Okay, well done. So for all that good work, we get to end now in a restorative posture. So I'm going to set you up in what's called Meadowbrook pose. So this is what your 2 blankets and bolster are for. So that's in the class description, but I suppose I didn't say so verbally. So if you need to hit pause, you'll want 2 blankets. If you don't have a yoga bolster, no problem. Just a good sturdy pillow or a couple of cushions will work just fine. So once you have your stuff, start with the first blanket, and this can kind of be an approximation. Your blankets might not look like mine, but get it something like this, and then roll up about half of it. A little less if you're tight in the upper back. Something like that. Yeah. So the first roll, is going to be for between the shoulder blades, right about at the bra strap if you wear a bra. This is where the tops of your shoulders are going to go. And then we're going to do that again for your neck. So about the same size, similar roll, maybe a little smaller. And that's going to be your neck. And that's going to be your head. Shoulder blades, shoulders, neck, head. Now, the bolsters for your knees. This one's rather big, so my feet are up in the air. I think I'll be able to get it underneath my knees in such a way that I can actually put my feet down. If you can't do that and your feet are kind of hanging out in space, one more cushion down there would also be great. So if you want to watch first, I'm going to see if I can get that first roll. Oh yeah, like that. Maybe scooting back. Oh yeah, just a little bit. When you get to that point, you'll be able to stretch your arms out, and can you see they're in between the rolls. They're not up on either one. So I've got shoulder blades, shoulders in between, and then I'm bringing this second roll. So it's underneath the curve of my neck. So Meadowbrook pose is a little different in that the head is actually slightly tilted back and the front of the throat is open. But I want you to support the head primarily in a way that feels really supportive and comfortable to you. So be less tilted back if you need to. I want this pose to be, you get in and think, that's the sigh we're looking for with restorative. So once you get in, please stay. I'm going to bring myself back up to seated, just to guide you through this for a moment. Just let the weight of the legs sink in to the bolster, to the floor. Feel plenty of room for breath across the rib cage. Let the backs of the arms and the backs of the shoulder blades relax. And let the back of the neck relax and the soft tissue of the brain relax and rest back at the base of the skull. Let the breath be soft and natural now. No control, no direction. Just let it be released and free in your body. So I want you to feel free to stay here as long as you like. 3 to 5 minutes is great if you have time for that. So I'm going to bid you farewell. When it is time for you to come out, just gently roll to one side. Help yourself up nice and easy. Take a couple moments seated to breathe and give thanks before going on about your day. Strong and open and ready. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you. And I'll see you next time.